Are we live already?
We live now. Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
Uh,
Jesse, how are you? You are mute, actually, right?
well, Jesse's gonna come in a second, right?
Okay.
Alrighty. So welcome to the hour three right now, and we're gonna jump into right away to Jesse's presentations as this is queued up. I met Jesse. I'm thinking Jesse 8, 9 years ago. That was mastery number seven for me. So years and years of having fun and the life changes. So really, Jesse's been doing this for quite a long time as well. Jesse, go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce the network, introduce what the National RE funding is, how you help investors, how you work with the investors, and how you work with anyone that still have a dream about owning a bunch of real estate properties.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you for the invite and all of the information that you have given to us today. It's very insightful. I've actually picked up a lot of little nuggets, and there's a lot that you had mentioned that um, is would be important to implement in any particular business, right? So there's always opportunities there to build and grow and learn and develop into. But thank you for having me. My name is Jesse Arenas. I am a funding specialist at National RE Funding. National RE Funding is a mortgage broker that assists investors such as myself. And like Andy, as Andy had mentioned, we met each other about 8 years ago. That's when I started getting involved in the community. And we're here with my mortgage background. I decided to make a switch over to the RIA investment world and use my expertise and my knowledge and my experience to help assist others in growing their portfolio. So, what I'll like to do is to just tell you a little bit about my experience, my background. Is I started investing in real estate about roughly around early 2000. I want to say I bought my first two properties in the 2000. Then 2001 came along. There was a little scare, obviously, with the what had happened at with the 9/11. And my father and I, which my father at the time, he was a real estate broker, real estate agent. Um, Him and I had always this dream about investing in real estate, purchasing, and of course, scaling from there. And trying to be part of the one percenters out there, right? Because we always thought that whether you are a CEO of a company, an artist, you're a singer, an actor, and any types of walks of field, right? The majority of them always diversify and they invest in several different channels. One is real estate. That's what we've always noticed. Well, I realize that I'm not that multi-talented. I cannot sing, I cannot act, but I can certainly crunch some numbers, right? And there's real estate all around us. So I says maybe I can learn how to invest in real estate. So we took that hurdle, bought a couple of properties. 2008 came around where there was an economic market crash. We unfortunately lost those two properties to foreclosure. Um, because we did not know what exactly we were doing, how we purchased them, how to manage them, how to run the correct numbers and manage the tenants in them with the cash flow or lack thereof, right? So there was a lot of pieces missing that we didn't understood, and we lost those properties. We um, after a while, we decided that once the economy started getting better, we said, well, unfortunately, we had a bad experience. We knew that we wanted to still get back into real estate, but we wanted to find some sort of mentorship, some sort of direction and coaching on how to do it the right way, because we knew it still worked. It was just a matter of doing it the right way. So we stumbled across a couple of different real estate courses, real estate groups, and associations. And as a matter of fact, that's where Andy and I had met at the Chicago RIA. My father and I had then invested in this program along with my son, and everything started making sense. I have been in the mortgage industry for about 20 plus years. My father's a real estate agent. I was a loan officer, along with a being a processor, a underwriter, a closer, with several different mortgage brokers and big retail banks. I worked with Bank of America, Wells, Chase Fargo, BMO Harris Bank. So I was very well versed in the conventional market of the mortgages, which is Fannie and Freddie Mac, meaning that they are government backed entities that lend their government funds to individuals who are buying properties for the very first time or multiple times and refinancing their primary homes. Um, I then got involved with this RIA group, and they had opened my eyes to a different side of it, which was the investment opportunities and buying properties as commercial investment directions. And although I didn't know anything about that, it was to me bizarro world because what I had learned in the conventional business and the conventional land, the underwriting and review guidelines are so stringent compared to what the commercial underwriting guidelines are. I thought to myself, this is not correct. This is not right. But I listened to the presenters, to the gurus, and I said, well, these numbers make sense. They're talking my language as far as the mortgage terminology is concerned, and the loan to values and ratios. So I started honing in a little bit more, and I got involved. And so there was an opportunity where I actually joined the community to advance and buy my first property. I ended up buying my first property as a wholesale deal. I actually found the property under through a wholesaler. A wholesaler is somebody who's soliciting homeowners directly to find investors to sell their products over to their properties over to, and just compensate on a little finder's fee, which is basically what it is. It's a generic way of naming them a real estate agent. It's basically a person without a license, without a real estate license. Now, nowadays, there's state rules against being able to do multiple wholesale deals. Now, you do have to be a licensed agent, but that's how I found my first deal. We then they had asked me, my consultants at the time, well, Jesse, what would you want to do with this property? Well, I says, I've spent so many years trying to invest in the right way and trying to get some compensation back, earn some sort of profit. I says, I don't have time to rehab this property, and I wouldn't want to purchase it and sell it later on. I said, I'm looking, let's wholesale it. Let's just make a quick profit off of it. So I found an investor who was interested in buying it. And I made my first profit off of my first real estate transaction done under this community, and it was about a $26,000 profit. I did it again, made 20,000. The third time, 5,000, and then at that time I had built my reserves and says, okay, well now I have the capacity to start either rehabbing properties or holding them for rentals, and that's exactly what I did. So I had built up a small little rental portfolio, and the job that I actually had at the time, the full-time job, was at a retail bank. that was downsizing. They had laid off about 300 folks, and I had taken a break from that as well to pursue my real estate investing course and development and growth. And so I had a lot of free time. I was really putting 100% in real estate investing, but I still had time to grow and time to look into other avenues, which is where I had stumbled across National RE Funding. National RE Funding previously was named Chicago Funding. It was and still is a commercial loan broker, but it was in its startup stage. And knowing that it was part of the community and there was relatively no real presentation with that organization, with that company being pushed forward, I had volunteered to help the company and help it be part of it and help it grow. So, with my background experience in mortgages, I came over to National RE Funding and started working with investors at that time. So, up till now, I have built up a rental portfolio of 30 rental properties. I've done 10 flips and 10 wholesales. And it's just part of, the big network and the community and the involvement and getting to know Andy and other individuals that just share their help and help us all grow. And that's actually what we do here. So at National RE Funding, I'm part of a big piece of the real estate association, Chicago REI and Mastery, where I'm helping investors grow their portfolio. And there's several products that we use. So I'm going to jump into that right now. And one of the ways that you can definitely, start if you're a new investor or if you're an experienced investor, we can certainly help. So National RE Funding is for investors by investors, right? We have a couple of people that are loan officers and processors within the community, and each and every one of us dabble into investing in real estate. We have a small little portfolio of our own, so we give that extra value add. And so I'll go to the next slide here. So. As I mentioned, I've been in Mastery in the community for about 7 years, 30 properties, 10 flips, 10 wholesales. And here, let me actually change this into a slide. My apologies. It would look a little better. There you go. There you go. Okay. And so I'm going to start off with some of our most popular programs that we have available out there. One is called house hacking. What you can do is a strategy that you can start off with and build a portfolio this way. It's through the power of FHA. It's basically a low down payment program that one can qualify for at 3.5% down of the purchase price. And then refinance over to then buy another property in a conventional stance. So house hacking, what does that mean? That means you're going to purchase and occupy a property for a minimum of 1 year in order to be able to scale and buy another property under not an FHA loan, because an FHA loan only allows you to have one FHA program out at a time. Then conventional products open up, and the minimum down payment for a conventional product is 5% down, and you can do that up to 10 times. This program, I'll keep in mind that it is income based. It will use your primary income to qualify your personal income. And there's a couple of little additions that you can use to help you qualify. You can do that up to 10 times as long as you're improving your position and purchasing either a more expensive property or a property that's more efficiently more efficient for you, where it's either better located for you. You're downsizing from either a 4 unit down to 3, 2, 1. It has to make sense for the underwriter, but you can do that up to 10 times under conventional loans. Then after that, you have to go into a commercial loan. Okay, house hacking. Again, the property needs to make sense up to 10 times, then jump over to commercial. But how do you utilize it, right? The reason why I mention multi-units and 4 unit is because it's always smart to buy your first property as a multi-unit, right? And the maximum number of units for to qualify for this loan program is up to 4 units. So you would want to go that direction because we can use the rental from the other 3 units to help you qualify for more house, for more of the loan amount on that building. And in the next example here, just a very basic way of how one can live rent free and mortgage free, basically, because what you're doing is when you're buying a 4 unit property, here's an example. It's cost about 300,000. 3 out of those 4 units, you can rent them out for about $1,200 each, totaling 2,800. I'm sorry, $3,600 here, and your mortgage payment on this particular property, this example, will be around $2,800. So you'll see the rent alone here being $3,600 off of the 3 units of 1,200 per unit. So you're not only living for free, you're actually receiving a little bit of extra cash every month, about $800 in your pocket. And usually it's net. Right? So that's one method that one can pursue. And you can do this up to 10 times. These programs, again, they require deep underwriting. They're income qualifiers. They need your W-2s, your tax returns, your pay stubs, your W-2s in order to qualify. And you can add the future rental payment on that particular property to help you qualify for a higher loan amount. So that's a good program, a good strategy that investors use out there. Then we jump into our next popular program, which is a fix and flip loan. It's a purchase and rehab. That's basically what it means. We can help you purchase, renovate the property so you can either sell or eventually rent it, refinance it down the road. We can do, it says 1 to 4 units here, but we have programs now where we can lend up to 40 or 50 units. It can be true commercial properties. Loans start off from 50 to up to 3 million, sometimes even more. We have expanded products. I just haven't updated this spreadsheet yet. But you don't have to be an experienced investor. You can be a brand new investor. You've never done a fix and flip property transaction before. That's not a problem. You can still qualify under our programs because we'll fund up to 90% of the purchase price. There's programs where if you're experienced, you qualify automatically. But we have the special high FICO program right now that if you have a 740 score, FICO score or higher, and no experience, you'll qualify for 90% funding of the purchase price. And that's big because not too long ago, I want to say probably about 6 months ago, this program didn't exist. And the only people that would qualify for the minimum down payment on an investment property would be those who have at least 5 properties under their track record or more in the last 3 to 4 years. So you no longer have to worry about that if you have zero experience. You could qualify on based on your FICO score if it's 740 or higher. And generally, we'll finance up to 100% of the rehab cost, the build for this property. If it's 100,000 or less, it's usually standard. We'll finance up to 100. If it's 100 or more, that's when we start looking into whether you have experience or not. If you don't have experience, no need to worry. We'll still fund the rehab cost, but maybe there might be a little haircut of 5% of that or so on. So maybe 95%. or 90 of that, and that wouldn't be an issue. We always recommend give yourself a little buffer on the rehab costs because we don't generally utilize any contractors agreements, any permits, any major scopes of works or architectural plans, as long as you're not doing a full addition or an expansion of the existing square footage. You can qualify for 100% down based on the scope of work that you, the customer, the buyer, are going to provide to me. It's very easy, and I'll hold your hand with that whole process and walkthrough.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
So I'm glad that you mentioned. So this is I did not know that you actually go to 3 million and higher up right now. This is great.
Yeah, we do, and we're just expanding more and more. So we'll do that up to 75% of the after repair value. So, for example, 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab costs. That total loan amount combined, we can lend up to 70 to or 75% of what the after repair value is going to be on the property, right? So we're always looking for what value add you're going to add to the property. Okay. And these types of loans are normally good for 12 months. You do have extension options if you need more time to complete the rehab of the property and to sell or to refinance. And I'm quickly going to use a little example, a personal example of one of my personal properties that I bought in Berwyn. This 1935 Elmwood. I purchased this property for 185. It needed a lot of rehab. It needed about 130,000. So I renovated both units. It's a 2-unit property, and the basement here was it was not livable. I didn't convert it into a unit, but I did finish it, right, just to add value to it. Did some rough work, new windows, patch paint inside, new kitchens, and new bathrooms. Everything went into the 130 that I have there. I then went ahead and sold it for 542,500. So the profit there, after closing costs, taxes, and commissions, I profited about 181,000 off this transaction. And this is my personal property. We've done hundreds and thousands, actually, loans of these types for other investors, but knowing that you're working with the loan officer that is actually also an investor, I can give you some extra insights on that and show you how it can be done. So that's an example of one of our fix and fix products. The other product is if you decide to, let's say, keep that property, right? I didn't keep it, I flipped it, but I flipped it for a specific reason because there was a better opportunity for me down the road. Yeah. But if I had decided to keep it, we have a program that's called DSCR. It's debt service coverage ratio. You can refinance any type of property we have here. It's just 2 single family, 2 4-units, townhome, and warrantable condos. We do, as I mentioned earlier, it's not in my slide, up to 40, 50 units. And you can actually purchase or just do a refinance if you've rehabbed the property off of this. And we'll do that up to 80% of what that value of the property is. Or the purchase price, 20% down. You had a question, Andy? No?
I lost your audio for a second. Not sure.
Okay. Are you okay now?
But it's back. It was just a fraction. So
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, good. And then so these are 30-year loan term programs. They're fixed. We do have interest only and ARM options if you so desire, but the fixed interest rate right now is relatively reasonable. It's low. So a lot of investors, including myself, are just going straight with the fixed rate. Minimum FICO to qualify for those are 660 and above. Now, all of our programs are soft pulls. We don't do hard pulls, hard inquiries on your credit report. So there's not going to be any impact to that. But how do you qualify for one of these loans? Well, it's not based neither the fix or flip loan nor the DSCR loan are based on your personal income. It is based on what the title of the loan is. This is a DSCR, debt coverage service ratio, or I'm sorry, it's backwards, debt service coverage ratio. It basically means that the rent has to cover the mortgage payment. The mortgage payment has to include your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, right? And the minimum ratio that we're looking for is 1.05. It basically just means that your rent has to be at 105% or more of what your mortgage payment is. And in this example, I purchased this property in Hazel Crest for $70,000. Needed $40,000 of rehab, and the total loan amount that I had on it was $110,000 as a total debt. So I went ahead and rehabbed it. The appraisal then came back at $177,000. I did a cash out refi because a cash out refi will allow you to go up to 75% of the new value of the property. So 75% of 177 is 132, and I paid off the balance of 110,000, which meant I put in my pocket $22,000 with the refinance after I've done the rehab on that property. I rented it out, and I rented it for $2,200. My mortgage payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance was $1,500. So minus that, my net profit was $700, cash flowing on a monthly basis. So not only did I put $22,000 back into my pocket, I don't have any money stuck into this deal. And each and every month, I'm actually receiving $700 for this rental property that I have from this tenant. So that's just one example as many.
Yeah.
Our next HELOC, our next product is a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, and this is not too new, but relatively recent. That had we just put it up in our product line, which is a HELOC, where you can pull the equity out of your property for whatever reason you're looking for. We'll do them on primary homes, and we'll give you a loan, a HELOC line of credit on your investment properties now. Before, that didn't exist, and we can go up to 70% of what that property's value is. So this is recently a hot product. We're actually taking advantage of, there's a lot of investors taking advantage of this. For what purpose, right? They're either on their primary homes or 70 or investment properties to go and purchase properties directly from auctions, or to assist them with down payments, or to assist them with their rehabs, or the monthly payments on their current projects that they have, or any other business expenses. And they're using that. There's some that we're working with that are using that to scale. You can say qualify for $100,000 or $150,000 credit line. There's a lot of investors that are taking just that 10 or 15% down payment out of their line of credit, using it to purchase and rehab a property through a fix and flip program. So they're leveraging. That's what you're doing in with all your financing channels. You're leveraging just to build and scale and buy more at a shorter span, a shorter time, rather than just one at a time. If you have the capacity and if you have the know-how, which will guide you through, that's definitely a powerful tool that we can actually offer and use. So again, we're mortgage brokers specializing on investors. As investors, we're providing the funding advice and certain strategies to help you scale your business, and you don't have to have any experience whatsoever. But there's a lot of cases where a lot of people are always asking, well, Jesse, how can I make an offer on a property? Can you qualify me? What do I do? What's my first step? Well, we help provide pre-approval letters, proof of funds letters. And those are very easy. All you need to do is just visit our website, nationalrefunding.com, and I'll show you in the next couple of next slides. But why use investor commercial loans, right? Because again, I'll mention this again, there's no income verification, no pay stubs, no W-2s, incomes, or 1099s. It's all asset-based lending. It's based on the property, on the project itself. And we'll review it to see if it's a good project, profitable project for you to work on and for us to lend on. We are a broker, so we are registered directly with a handful of several different hedge fund back and money lenders. That gives us the advantage of being able to find the best rate, the lower points, the lowest FICOs, the lowest reserves, basing it on what leases or not, and no seasoning or low seasoning. And we'll tailor make whatever project you're looking into, yeah, a little easier for you, so you can maneuver through things easier without the headache. Let us do the heavy lifting for you, and that's what we're here for in lending our expertise. You just need to get on the website, nationalrefunding.com. That's how you'll qualify. Or if you have a project that you're looking to fund right away, here's a basic snapshot of our website. If you're looking to get pre-approved and get a pre-approval letter, all you need to do is click on Get Pre-Approved Now, fill out a simple questionnaire, submit it. We'll review it and send you the letter within 24 hours. Or if we have any questions, we'll email you or hop on the phone with you. If you actually have a deal under contract, or you have a property you already own that you're looking to either do a HELOC on or do a refinance on, then it would be this button, Fund My Deal Now, simple little questionnaire, and get back to you without any hits or any delays. Here's my contact information. QR code leads directly to National RE Funding with my phone number, my email, and this is our address where we're located. Our phone is available. There's a couple of loan officers that we have in our company right now, and there's a couple of processors that we are currently training at the moment. The company has been growing. We've done thousands of loans in the last several years in the not only in the Chicagoland area. We lend up to 47 states throughout the nation. So we're nationwide, and and as Andy was just covering earlier, is that we're a company that's growing. It's developing into bigger, better, more products, and we're bringing more people on board. So it's always good to be able to network and to find out what tools are available out there. So each and every one of us can help each other and push each other forward and grow and so on. So Andy, thank you very much for inviting me here and sharing all your information. I knew a little bit about it, but now I know a lot more. And if you or anyone have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jesse. I still want to have a short conversation right now, because you mentioned about a few things that the growth is amazing. I did not realize that that it is actually. I knew about probably 2 or 3 employees, but then growing the staff, that is fantastic. That you go in that route, and the national refunding. Yeah, I knew that you guys doing almost all the states, and now when that changed with the states, was it always from the beginning? Or was it just the Illinois at the beginning?
Well, no. So we're able to lend in all those states nationwide, but our biggest footprint was and still is in the Chicagoland area, where because of the help of and the ability of what social media has created, we're able to reach out to outskirts of states and so on. So we've done a lot of loans out in Florida, in Connecticut, in Michigan, in Wisconsin. Texas is building up. So it's just through the social media marketing out there that's actually been helping us just reach a bigger, broader audience. And that has just recently occurred in the last year or two.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm happy that you mentioned about about income qualifications, right? Because I remember when I came to the real estate, I knew that for me this is all about passive income, and boy, was I so wrong. There is no passive. Everything is quite active, right? It's a it's a style, and it's, I think it's a lifestyle to some degree, right? You need to be responsible in your work, and then when you're doing the extra stuff from the perspective, can you switch, Jesse? I'm gonna switch to a few slides that I have. Thank you.
Okay.
So I got this. Okay, so that was the poster that we've been running, but I think I need a better picture of you, Jesse, here as well. So
Yeah, a more updated one. So I'll go ahead and send it over to you. That's not a problem.
yeah, that's a it works, right? This is also the same QR code. Is no, this is QR code. Let's see, Jesse,
It's
flash the QR code to. Not sure if it's. I'm checking it just right now.
I think that might be an old QR code, so I'll
No,
send you the new one that I have.
so sorry,
It's the
Jesse.
same one.
This is my QR code because this was taking individuals back to the platform, right? So it's
Got it.
recirculating, and this is that's why I set it up over here. I know that education is free for everybody, right? It's a YouTube universe, and everybody can get the quality information. But really, when you are talking with the specialists, well, it's the value multiplies because of those individuals doing and achieving this and just sharing those resources. So that's why I've been part of the several different groups and masterminding groups, because for me, sharing and getting information is it's easy, right? But you still need to have access to the specific program to put it all together, right? Because the mastery is a mastery. It's not something that is achievable overnight. It's something that you have to grow into. I just wanted to also mention. So I really wanted to do like an open floor conversation, but let's focus this specifically about really why I'm doing this. So I made the decision that this education, the entry points are gonna be free. I started this with what I called a grow connection, and the grow connection will always gonna be free and available. We do have accountability platforms. We do have setups that are available for anyone that would like to join within the ecosystem. But within the ecosystem, we're always working with other experts, other professionals that really share and come and share the information. So that is why we are able to do and provide the education for free. The training programs are really not expensive as well with us, but that's what you are getting when you are running some education. I'm trying to ensure that every business owner right now is really doing a lot from the social media perspective because it's easy and it brings the results, right? You need to just stay consistent on it. So we help business owners to stay consistent from that perspective, and that's why the open office hours are a simple way to call us the most important trusted service providers. And since we're talking about the real estate, I do have a real estate license as well. So just a disclosure, I am a buyer. I am a private money lender as well. But the most important thing is to be adding and buying. For the trusted service providers that are real estate professionals, I think the trainings that I have, those 4-week programs, are really for the licensed real estate professionals to get a full understanding, right? You've been doing real estate for quite a while. If you are starting to kind of move forward from that perspective of investing and thinking differently about your real estate journey path, and I hope that most of the real estate brokers are really not thinking about this as oh, I have to do that. No, you don't have to. That does not have to be your path. You still might be doing good money with the commission, and when you investing and putting money somewhere away, well, you will be just fine. However, adding the properties and creating that passive cash flow, that is the most important part of people owning the properties, because then you can actually borrow against those assets as well when something happens, or you can sell those assets. So keeping the assets and building your portfolio, adding another small property, and Jesse, do you want to go with what Andrew was always saying with the numbers? I'm pretty sure you're gonna cover this much better, but and I don't want to take this away, because that 257 makes so much sense. However, you can do so many of those 257s within that platform and community, that it actually makes sense. It grows and it multiplies. So let's talk about this, because that is a good path. Your or mine were completely different, but I know that it still makes a lot of sense, because it is possible, and specifically in a Chicagoland market, those numbers work quite well.
Yeah, so I'll touch briefly on that. That's a great strategy that Andrew has shared with all of us, and there's you can definitely implement that to be in a different position in a short period, in a short amount of time. And the 257, what that means is within 2 years, you're buying 5 properties and you're paying them all off in 7 years. Okay. Now, how is that done? So within the 2 years, you're purchasing one, probably you're rehabbing, you're adding value to them, right? And you're renting them out. Say, take it, whether it's 3, 4, 6 months, whatever time frame that is. As soon as you start renting property one, you already have property two completed. Any of the cash flow, the passive income that you're getting on that property number one, is you're investing it and paying off your property number two. So the cash flow from property number two, that particular amount, well, let's just say it's for $500. You're taking $500 of cash flow number two and the $500 cash flow from property number one. You got $1,000 right there extra in your pocket. So instead of you spending the money, going on vacation and just splurging it on things, you want to reinvest it in yourself or reinvest it in the properties that you're building upon that. So that $1,000, you're attacking property number one. Property number one. You're putting it all into property number one. You're getting another property number two. You're still within the property number three. You're still within the 2 years, right? And then you're acquiring 4 and 5, right? So the whole concept of it is after you acquire the 5 properties in the 2 years, each and every cash flow of those 5 properties, you're attacking property number one. So could you imagine you got 500, 500, 500, 500, and 500. You're getting all that minus your mortgage payment that you already have on your current property. So there's a little bit of principal that you're paying off in there, and you're taking all the cash flow from all the other properties and attacking property number one. You're going to pay it off in a matter of no time compared to 30 years. 30-year fixed mortgage is just an amortization payment for you to be able to have a lower monthly payment through that time frame. But are you obligated to make that minimal monthly payment? No, you can make prepayments and pay that property. So you're attacking property number one with all the cash flow that you're getting from all 5 properties. You're going to pay it off in a couple of years. And then now you have 100% of the cash flow coming from property number one, right? So what do you do with that cash flow? Plus the 500 from each other property, you attack property number two. Once that one's paid off, short amount of time, you're going to take 100% of both properties, then 3, then 4, then 5. And that's how you get them all paid off in 7 years. And that's basically the concept. There are several investors who have actually put that into action and it works for them. There is discipline involved because you do, if you want to reach that time frame and that goal, or not necessarily that long, right? As long as you follow that strategy, you'll be able to attack the principal balances on each and every one of your properties sooner rather than later. And then at the end of the day, leaving you completely equity rich. But now you have not one, not two, not three, you have 5 properties that you are netting out with zero principal and interest mortgage payments on it. All you're paying is taxes and insurance. That cash flow alone can be thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. And if you do that more than just 5 properties, could you imagine? Now you can build another set of 5, and then another set of 5, and so on and so forth. The opportunities are endless, but that's a great strategy.
It is truly, it is, because you really thinking smart about leveraging credit and leveraging money properly. That's an investor mindset, but from the perspective of simplicity, there's nothing simpler. But the discipline must happen, right? Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that's why we're trying to ensure that we attend those meetings, right? It's a community. It's really keeping up with the changes. And thank you, Jesse, for talking about those updates on a HELOC, because that is the strategy that can work for those that have that muscle to not waver from what they made the decision to do, right? And that's sometimes tough, but opportunities are showing up everywhere. The real estate, as we know, it's a lonely sport, right? And I think every real estate agent will tell you that, and that's true. I am trying to do something different. I don't want this to be a lonely sport. That's why I'm creating that group of trusted service providers that I really hope will be really, really great real estate brokers and agents that I can connect with other members of the community, so they can actually service them properly. As far as the wholesaling, I am not planning on bringing any wholesalers to this platform at this point, because it's a licensed activity anyway. So I'm gonna keep it with the licensed trusted service providers. So anyone that would like to learn a little bit more about the investments, definitely reach out to Jesse, and yes, visit Chicago RIA, one of the biggest in a nation real estate investors group. And I am gonna be changing the topic tomorrow. Tomorrow topic is gonna be completely different. We're really gonna be talking about prevention, and I take the same concepts from creating a passive investments or to the corporations right now, because that's what you can do. You can really help organizations from the training perspective, but we're really gonna be talking about the prevention of violence, bullying, and really crime prevention that is taking place. I personally am going right now and gonna be attending one of the ASIS international. This is a North Shore chapter, and we are meeting monthly in a restaurants or different venues, because we do great presentations. We'll be organizing for that organization. So this is in Glenview. This is Glenview, Illinois, and we'll be organizing law enforcement appreciation event in November as the association, or as the member or chairman, vice chair of that group. Well, we lost access to the restaurant. We've been meeting at the great restaurant in a Glenview area. It was called Hackney's. They just announced that they are closing by the end of this month. So So it is a strategy change, but this is an opportunity for our chapters to really. I want to do that at the. Did you ever been in Glenview, in the Glen area, the downtown?
Seldomly, but I'm familiar. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there is a naval station. There's a naval station
Mm-hmm. Right.
that is a museum, and I think I'm just gonna do that or gonna try to do that presentation in that naval station. So that's gonna be in November. And yesterday, I found a speaker, not a speaker. I found an artist and person that will be doing national anthem for us for that. So really building this as a cohesive platform. And again, ASI is international, is separate as far as National RE Invest, not my company. This is all network. We're talking about business networking. We're talking about sharing the information. But I mentioned about it that when we start talking about money and finance, well, there needs to be some agreements because we cannot do that. We cannot really share information with others that are not true. And that's why Jesse was here today, because I know everything is truth. Everything is validated and checked. And that's how those business networking groups working. And Mastery is quite peculiar because of the volume of the transactions and the amount of students. So that is really, really big group. For me, the Pure Experts ecosystem is just a rider to it. It's something that I, as an investor, also am building for the investors, but also business owners, founders of the organizations, to resolve the problems in those organizations quicker by having a great camaraderie and conversation, but really focused on a business strategies and looking at this from the prism of the systems. And you know that I love math, and math was something that I enjoyed my whole life. Not for the last few years, because over the last 2 years, I really handed off finance to AI, and to some degree, right? You need to have the controls and everything, but the systems are cranking up pretty much. I was able to add the automations for the different asset classes from the real estate perspective. So those are operating, and that's why I'm currently looking for quite a lot of trusted service providers, contractors, and real estate professionals that really would like to be small part of that organization, come for the training and education, maybe once a week, maybe once a month. I'm trying to make it so flexible, and especially for those that just want to engage and start thinking about building your own portfolio or building your business, or really training on AI, so you can actually take that training and go back to your organization, be more effective for your employer. But tell your employee, hey, I took this course. This is the value that I can create for the organization. Become more effective, more proficient for your organization. Now pull it all together from the perspective of what I have learned. I've been privileged in my life. I cannot say that, but working hard and working double or triple shifts need to end at some point. And we really. So I started looking at it from completely different prism over the last really year. I'm looking at it from the perspective, I don't want to retire anymore. It's, I just want to be doing this because that drives me. That makes me wake up in the morning to share the information, but then working with the clients and partners on the resolution. So that's why I think consultancy is something that I always enjoyed, and I think that's how I lived my life. It was always project, from project to the project to the project. It was never ending, and it will never end, because the projects in your life should never end. You should be growing and discovering, but you can do it through the business networking groups. You can do it through the higher education, which is at this point, my daughters are going back to school, right? It's something that every parent wants their kids to go to school, and I definitely did that. And I'm not saying it was a waste of time, because it wasn't. It was just a learning of and being able to understand different concepts from different perspectives, so you can share that knowledge with others. And doing corporate trainings was something that I truly enjoy. And more from that safety and security perspective, that's what I was doing usually. But now protection for the families, and really talking about the opportunities for those that are, well, sitting at home and don't have, you don't have to have many resources right now to start getting into ownership. So that's why Jesse was here today and talking about the opportunities and really talking about the options, because this is a simple phone call. Everybody now has the contact number for Jesse. Look at the website, look at the information, read up more. And if you never did the transaction, Jesse and those groups are really, really fantastic places for you to start. Tomorrow, Dr. John Byrnes. On Saturday, I will be talking with two other professionals, different asset classes, but it's still real estate. So we'll be talking with the builder that is building luxury houses in Florida. And we're also going to be talking with Fernando Angelucci, who's been doing a lot in a real estate through the started with the wholesaling and then moved to the different asset class. And I think that's the asset class that I will be talking a little bit more about. Is going to be that self-storage. And I still see the opportunities over there. So what I'm going to be doing with Fernando after the event, we're actually going to build the cohort for the professionals. And I'm mainly looking for security professionals or consultants, security consultants that are already doing what I know they're doing from the security management perspective. Now I can show those managers, those leaders, how to add additional income stream to their operations. And that's what we will cover on a Saturday specifically, how it can be done by just redirecting and focusing a little bit on a completely different strategy, right? It's some people think real estate is too risky. No, you cannot look at this. Life is even more risky if you're not gonna do anything in your life. So that's why pulling it all together today has been just a smudge of what we got inside of the platform. And the most important thing is that camaraderie and having the meetings. Because the Chicago area just finished, so that cohort's starting right now, right? So I wanted to bring Andrew to the interview on Saturday. He's running his class on Saturday, so that's not gonna take place. But I'll try to do a separate interview with Andrew, who's been basically spearheading that whole mastery from that perspective, and hopefully introducing other partners and individuals that are kind of change my mindset on thinking perspective. Not that it is revolutionary or it is information that nobody else provides. It is about that community, about having that information delivered to the students at the right time and taking those students through the transformation process. And I don't think we got so the next one. Where is the next 3 day for Chicago area? For
That one's going to begin on that would be late October, early November,
right.
right around there.
So
And that's true. Yeah, Andrew currently is tied up in the middle of a course on Saturday. He holds every Saturdays for up to 8 to 10 weeks. And that's actually where I gotten started. So, but Andy is, they all say it's you can go far alone, but you can go much further and faster together. So thank you very much for providing, a platform like this because this helps all.
yeah, thank you. And I'm really looking for more interviews, but more connections because the conversation started, right? Conversation needs to go somewhere. So if you are a professional, if you are a business owner or a founder, or if you need actually some ideas of how to acquire properties or acquire businesses, because that's what I'm really gonna be focusing tomorrow and Saturday. It's the same type of process. It's just different thinking, and now with the solutions that you can build for yourself in your organization with the AI tools, well, you can really add a lot of opportunities for your business, your family. I'm trying to teach it from the family lens perspective because of how the protection works. Sometimes you can get the better protection for the family with the not at this forum. We're gonna be covering more about this in November time, but the insurance brokers and the strategy with the insurance can be similar to the real estate investments, but they're completely different. That's why we are always talking with the experts. So thank you, Jesse, for sharing your knowledge today. And I'm just putting my QR code for the just a 25-minute just booking of the appointment. Please make sure that you know what you want to build, or what you really want to accomplish from the perspective of either consultancy, either AI arbitrage, or if you need some solutions that we can provide for you with our small team and really get you started. That's why I'm building this, and that's why we're gonna have those weekly meetings, weekly connections. That now, and anybody that got the token link to the platform, well, you will be able to connect during the open office hours specifically for the conversations. And when we're gonna start bringing real estate professionals, I'm trying to create a quick and easy way. If you are in a field, you can always call me. I can go on a computer, I can analyze the property for you very, very quickly. We're going to be covering that through the apps that are built within the ecosystem tomorrow. But at this point, I know we are 3 minutes after the 4. Jesse, thank you very much. And we're going to finish up and wrap up the day 1. And I'm looking forward to continuous conversation and broadcasting on a Total TV. Sal, how are we doing on a broadcasting? And please tell me when we'll be off, so we can have a after party.
And if there's anything that I can add, a last minute thing is that, as you had mentioned earlier, Andrew is going through his course right now. That's an education platform and system that is being used. That's actually where I got started. I'm not only a funding specialist from National RE Funding, I am also a mastery consultant. So, should anybody wish to get any information about these courses that are coming through the RE Invest Group, Chicago RIA, you can kill two birds with one stone, and I can certainly help anyone who's interested in gathering more information or signing up for that particular product. No, it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much, Andy, for having me. I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go over a little bit more about the properly designed like guardrails and policies in our organization. So tomorrow is gonna be a little bit more focused towards the corporate, but I think everybody can learn from it because it's the same, almost the same conversation. It's just easier to do it for the singular business owner or solopreneur to accomplish that. So that's why the focus for me is to have the workshops for professionals, but also for the solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, or business owners, small business owners as well, because the value can be duplicated and shared with others. And I think we'll be getting to a very, very important mindset discussions from the perspective that Dr. John Byrnes can bring up, because that was his experience. For me, it is threat management and really resolving problems before they become the problems. So we'll be talking about the primer aggression and really not being able to process the information or thinking correctly. So we got the primal aggression and cognitive aggression, but I'm gonna let Dr. John lead this, as I'm just redoing his trainings. I'm just helping him to provide that information to others, and that's how I'm so pleased that I can share this information with many other organizations, hopefully, because the programs that the Center for Aggression Management is doing are actually designed to save lives, so and prevent a lot of problems in our organization. So that is going to be the focus for tomorrow a little bit more. Thank you, Jesse.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Andy.